Hello there everybody, and welcome to Metro 2033. I fucking love this game. I'm a huge fan of the Metro series, and I wanted to do a Let's Play this for a while. Originally I was going to do the original Metro 2033, and then like the Redux came out, and so I thought, oh, I know, I'll do the Redux, and of course it's, as you may know, it's pretty graphically intensive, and running the game and audio capture software and video capture software, just my old computer couldn't handle it. I did try, but I was getting lag and graphical errors, and it just wasn't a good time. Now, however, I have my shiny new computer. One I've had for, God, how long have I had this now? 6 months? I can't even remember. Anyway, I've got my new computer, should be able to handle all this. I've got the game all set up, it's all recording, we're good to go! I really wanted to, I love the Metro series. This game got me into the whole thing. This game, and then I started buying the books, and then the second game came out, and I'm totally looking forward to the third game. And that's kind of why I'm doing this now. I want to play Exodus when it comes out, and so I'm thinking, okay, if I can do 2033 and Last Light before Exodus comes out, I can just dive straight into Exodus. I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, let's get started on this. Now, I'm going to play this one on Survival, and I'm only going to play it on Normal, because I can't be arsed to do anything harder than that. I have completed this game, interestingly enough, on Hardcore. Well, I completed the original version.
Grew colder.
Yes.
Miller and I were close to the surface now. Soon, we would climb up into the howling wind to fight our way through whatever nightmares were waiting there.
Yep.
My long journey was nearly at the end. But would I have the courage, the will to see it through?
I do think it's interesting that they start the game at the end and then flash back to how it started. I'm never sure about that kind of thing. But yeah, I have completed this game on hard, but I'm not really into that. Hello.
When you left your home station,
I shall stare at your ass.
We'll end up in a place like this, not knowing whether we were about to save our world
I don't know.
or send it straight to hell.
I love this game. I love the world that is created, because it's, yes, there are sort of fantasy elements to it, but it is reasonably quite believable. Like the idea that, you know, all these people would try to survive in the Metro, and it just wouldn't work out for them, and just, oh, lovely stuff. Pick that up. Beep beep.
Use the auxiliary hand system to open the
There we
gate.
go. It's a lot more interactive than the original version, and because obviously it's running on the engine from the second game. Let's turn all the switches. Whee! Watch as the lights turn on, and then probably turn back off. So yes, we need filters, ammo.
Follow me.
Ah yes, good stuff. We could explore around. I'm going to try, you saw me pick up the note. I'm not going to bother reading the notes, because that just wastes time.
Up we go.
But I will try to collect all the notes, so if you're watching, you can see me pick them up. I'll try to highlight it. I know I didn't on the first one, but that was fairly obvious. Flashlight.
Like nobody's home.
I do love these games.
Before we leave the surface, put your gas mask on.
I remember when I picked this up, I really wasn't sure what to expect, because the game was touted as being, oh, it's like Stalker, and I played Stalker, and it hadn't worked for me. I have since become to understand Stalker, and realized half the reason I didn't like it was because, oh yes, a couple of fights to go. Yeah, the reason I didn't like Stalker was essentially that I wasn't playing the game right, and so I was making the game harder on myself than it actually needed to be. Which, you know, obviously you want to be careful about. I haven't played a first-person shooter for you guys for a while. In fact, have I ever played a first-person shooter? I'm trying to think. I mean, I played first-person games. Have I ever played a first-person shooter?
Let's give it a pull.
Bull.
Ready?
And hammer D button, hammer D button. wasn't planning on bringing that joke back, but I might. That could be my joke. Hey. Lovely. I love the look of this game. It's really good because, like I said, I knew nothing about this game when I played the first one. I hadn't read the book before I'd played the game. So I just went into the game completely blind, not knowing what to expect. I absolutely loved it. And, you know, then of course the sequel came out, and I was just like, yes, please. Hello. Yeah, always look both ways before crossing the road, guys. And yeah, I just fell in love with it, and then I got the first book, and then the second book, and the third book has recently come out, and it's just lovely.
Glad to see you, Colonel.
Oh, it's so good.
Did you hear that? Listen. What the hell is it?
Rumble, rumble, rumble.
Form a circle.
Form a circle with 3 guys. Okay, let's do this.
Stay calm. What's your biggest voice?
Come and get it. Come on. Yeah, probably. I like how they allude to all this stuff, but you actually don't know what it means yet. But you will. You'll learn. The thing is, the library wasn't that tough. Whoa. Hello. Yeah, I'll do that later. Literally no point in doing it now. What you got? Anything else? Hello. You can die. Any more? Hello. You can die. Let me just reload. I'm doing this very casually. Whoop. Who's that? Oi. That, and there it goes. It was going to happen eventually. You can't win. Flying monstrosities. Whoa, flickering a bit there. Was that a graphical glitch, or was that just the flicker from his gun? I don't know. Whoa. Yeah, you may notice the occasional graphical thing. It doesn't really like being recorded.
But it was our home.
You'll just have to deal with it. It shouldn't be anything too bad, hopefully.
Comfort in its routines, in seeing the same people day after day. But since the mutant attacks had escalated,
I love this game.
fear ruled the station.
Come on, come on,
I
come on.
had just turned 20.
I won't skip the
Could
talking, but
never have imagined what would follow on the morning that my
wanna get into it.
stepfather's friend Hunter arrived at the barricade.
it is weird. That obviously, I mean, they changed the voice actor, because in the original one he had a much deeper voice, not as gravelly. It's like the tunnel grew colder. It's a bit like that. And of course, in this guy, it's like the tunnel grew colder. It's a little higher. It's slightly more gravelly in the voice, which, you know, not a bad thing. But obviously, it makes it the same voice actor from the second game, because obviously this is because the Redux is meant to bring the first game up to the level of the second one. And so that you know, you could play them back to back and you wouldn't really notice much of a difference. Hello.
Artyom, you're awake at last, I see. Hunter's on his way in. He should have news from the other stations. Come on.
Yay. Let's go hear news and talk to Hunter. Of course, if you've read the books, you already know about Hunter, and might as well turn off all the lights, you know, save electricity. Yes, let's go.
Pigs, disease. I've been through worse, and I'm not giving
Talk to people.
Hello, Artyom.
Hello.
Hand them all down and shoot it.
The station can't survive much longer with
Yes.
these attacks.
Come on, come on, come on. Let's get to the meeting and greeting and all that stuff.
What can we do?
Hello.
The Dark Ones will kill us all.
No, they won't. I'm going to save the day. Because one of the things this game introduced was like the moral point system. Throughout the game, you can collect positive and negative points based on your actions.
Another patrol was attacked last night. The hospital's full.
I'll show you what it looks like when you get a positive one. You see, this is positive. Talk to him
I
again.
want to leave the station.
That's a positive point.
Do we need to?
Let's go, Artyom.
Yes, let's go. Hello.
My brother is in the hospital.
I hope he's alive. Doctor hasn't said anything. No visitor.
There's another one. So, if you know where they are, you can get them quite easily. And if you have to get like X amount of positive points in order to see the good ending. Now, where is...
How are the wounded?
Not much improvement.
Ah, there it is.
2 died this morning.
Note. So remember that right there. I think that's the only one in this chapter. Hello.
God, when will this ever end? Can't take it anymore.
See, in the original there was actually a small moral point down there, but it doesn't seem to be in this one. Or is it down here? Ah, there it is. I was down the wrong little corridor a bit.
I can't reach.
Ooh, unpleasant. But I like that, you know, this world, it feels like, yeah, this is what would happen. Like, you know, it's 30 years after the apocalypse. No one's been able to repair anything. And so it's just, you know, everything's falling apart. It's just decay and everything. And it's just, I love the world they created, which is actually quite different from the books. The world of the books is slightly weird. Like, if you've ever read the first 2033 book,
It's been a long time.
his writing style is very odd. It gets better. Like, it gets better as the game goes on, which is, you know, understandable. He's clearly growing as a writer. I think the translation gets better as well, because obviously it's all Russian and all that stuff.
Most of what I hear is about the exhibition.
And there's a lot of talking in this, so I'm going to be talking over them. You can use the subtitles if you're desperate.
Artyom, I met a trader selling old postcards of New York City.
Yay!
I thought of your wall.
Thank you.
These are not the usual
Aha.
mutant creatures.
Lady of Liberty.
Yes. What the hell? Something much worse.
And of course you get a moral point for that.
Dark ones. Well, whatever in hell they are.
So if you interact with people, just talk to the right people, it's not that hard to get the good ending. Oh dear.
Just what we need.
There are wounded here just behind the wall.
Kirill, take your group
Let's go,
to the
let's go,
tunnels.
let's go.
Hunter,
We must stay here and defend the hall.
all right, Artyom, quickly get a weapon.
And of course you take the friggin' AK and leave me with the bleeding pistol, don't you? Thanks. You know, you'd think you'd leave
They never come this
bullets
far
in
into the
there,
station.
like in case of an emergency, but then I suppose it's a safety
Smell the
thing.
blood.
So, yeah, here comes your sort of your first... I mean, the previous thing, it's very hard to lose that. I think if you get hit enough, it probably just triggers the cutscene where you get attacked anyway. No point in attacking him. Hunter deals with that. We, however, need to take care of the vents. Hang on. Ah. Ah. Cut her off, please. Hang on. I almost got it. Ray! And I did it without all the vents, without any of the vents opening. That would be an achievement. Yes, I love it when I
No
can do that.
dark ones here. Just the usual tunnel trash.
Even when you don't see them, the dark ones are...
And this is one of the differences from the original as well, because this was just like a cutscene.
That's their weapon.
That's actually one of the differences between the first one and the second one. In the second one, it was exclusively first person. You almost never saw beyond what Artyom saw.
The next step in evolution.
In the first one, they had more cutscenes, and you like left Artyom's vision, as it were.
Lost.
This is one of the, because this was just a cutscene. It wasn't like interactive.
To the slaughter. I'll hang on to whatever life
In a
I
way,
got
this
with
kind
teeth
of-
and claws. And
The,
I'll take
I always
more
compare the
than
first
you
one.
will.
People say, oh, the first game was like Stalker. I'd compare these games more to Half-Life.
10 soldiers.
You know, you're led down a linear path, experiencing a linear story.
Dark ones! They destroyed the outer guard post!
Yeah, so it's like Half-Life. You're led down a linear path. You have occasional branches here or there where you can go off exploring, but it's still a linear path. And in Half-Life, of course, you get no cutscenes like this where you're not in control. You control Freeman throughout, and things just happen around you. In this one, it's a little more like story-driven. You don't necessarily control the character all the time. Sometimes, you will get a cutscene like this where you don't have control of the character.
The devil knows what's happening out there beyond your perimeter.
Which I think is, of course, good from a storytelling standpoint, because you can't necessarily guarantee what the player is going to do. So sometimes you have to take control away from them. And I think that's
Tell
all right.
him what's happened to me. It's stirring in the northern tunnels.
Yeah.
Show this to Miller so he knows I've sent you. I trust everything to you, Optim.
Let's do
Don't
it.
let me down.
Go on a journey across the metro.
This threat must be eliminated, no matter the cost. Eliminated. Understand?
Anyway, so what was I saying?
Hunter did
Oh,
not
never mind.
return.
He's talking again.
It wouldn't be easy to find an excuse to leave the station and travel to Polis.
You did
But
it
I
in the
had
book.
given my word. I learned that the caravan was heading to Riga the next day
Yay.
and needed guards. I signed on for the ride.
Let's get started. Just sings to wake you up.
Finally! Taking your time as usual, huh? Alright, grab your gear, go to the platform, they're waiting for us. I'll meet you there. Hey, Artyom, don't forget anything, huh?
Yep, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Вот сто перевертоться, бабушка здорова! Вот сто перевертоться, кушает компот! Вот сто перевертоться,
I like how the books are literally just Metro books, and it's just like, that's awfully convenient. It's a survival manual. For some reason you get a moral point for that, I'm not sure why. Okay, notes. I think that's everything you can do. Can't turn that one off. Hello.
Sorry, Artem. This part of the station is under temporary lockdown.
Where did you
Only
get
the
that?
guns may pass. Got it from a ranger for a ton of money.
And I also like the fact, you can hear people arguing, you can hear... You can hear their discussions, their conversations. It makes the place feel like alive. I mean, strictly speaking, and I know people complain about this, it's kind of a whistle-stop tour of the place. And you can find little stashes of bullets dotted around the place.
Well, your shit, okay?
Excuse me, thank you. Anyway, we're going to continue forward, and we'll see where we get. Almost at the end of the episode already, wow. Okay. You don't really have enough money to buy anything. You can if you want, but what you're given, like early in the game, is usually more than enough.
Well, sweetheart, what should daddy get you? No tomorrow. And there won't be if you don't get your ass home.
Anyway, let's go pick up our equipment. Need to go into here. Hello. Hello.
Need some weapons?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's take a look.
Give me free shit.
Submachine gun, 5.45 caliber armory. It's got poor accuracy and overheats like hell.
It'll do.
That's why they call it a bastard gun. Use short bursts, Artyom.
I know. I'll be getting a Kalashnikov soon enough. Just let me stick with
Here's
that.
a universal charger to keep the battery powered.
One for a battery.
And a gas mask.
Yes,
Put it
please.
on if you cross any radiation hot zones. Or, God help you, go up to the surface.
Yeah.
Army issue first aid kits, just in case.
Thank you.
Okay, you're supplied, my friend. Feel free to try out your weapon on my firing range.
I think you can actually win stuff on
Try
this.
not to stick out your head too much, okay?
Just to shoot shit and dunk, 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 dunk. See, it's not hard really. can just play. Specific. Know if you can open that up, presumably by destroying everything, perhaps. I don't know. Let's see what we can do. You don't want to mess with me. I'm a pretty dab hand with a bullet. Hey, that worked. See? It's easy. Yeah, you can't destroy everything. Anyway, let's go. I'm just wasting time. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Do you think one day we could go back up to the surface? I've never seen Moscow.
Now, there are bullets in there, but if you take them, you get a negative moral point, so I won't bother with that. Hello. Say hi.
Come in, son.
You get a moral
You're
point
ready
for
to
it.
set off. Good.
There's a note over here, too.
You've probably heard that our station is creating an alliance with Riga. We're sending them
It's
a couple
good.
of rail cars with humanitarian goods, some weapons, and some miscellaneous gear. That's the cargo you'll be looking after.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very long trip, and it should not be too hard. Artyom, one thing before you go. I can see that you look up to Hunter, but a ranger's life is different than ours. They are reckless, even violent by nature. There's nothing to be gained by playing the hero.
It's kind of what leads to the difference between the good ending and the bad ending is that, you know, listening to people, talking to people, and just generally exploring will tend to get you the good ending in general. Because usually you listen to people's opinions and you realize, like, you know, humanity's worth saving kind of stuff. Anyway, and holy crap. Okay, apparently we're out of time, so I'm going to pause it here. I'm also going to escape because it'll shut those people in the background up. I forgot how noisy this game is. Like, there's always someone talking, and if I do my usual thing of not talking while other people in the game are talking, I'm never going to talk at all. There are quiet moments though. There are quiet. It's just it's very dialogue heavy at the beginning. So apologies if this episode has been a little quieter. As we sort of move further down and gameplay, you know, and the story gives way to gameplay, it'll get a bit better. It'll get a bit better. So anyway, thank you all for watching, everybody. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual good stuff, and I will see you in the next one, guys.